Metro is such a well-known non-VR game, and the thought of this huge IP getting a dedicated VR game brought me so much excitement. Today I'll be reviewing Metro Awakening and helping you decide if this is one for you. First off, make sure to hit that subscribe button, it supports the channel and means a lot to me. Also, make sure to leave a comment and a like. So without further ado, let's crack on with the review. The game features a well-written and truly in-depth story, one of which I don't want to spoil, so I'll be very brief on this part. You play as Serdar, a doctor in the year 2028, and just like the previous games, you're stuck in the Metro due to radiation and various mutated creatures roaming the land. Your wife Yara requires medication, you have to set off and find these meds to aid your wife. Along your journey, things happen that will really test your limits. The story had me gripped from start to finish, and I'd probably say it's one of the best VR stories I've ever experienced. Gameplay wise, you have to manage your ammunition, filters and a few other supplies, which never became tedious and if anything really added to the immersion that you'd expect from a game with the Metro title. Roaming through the dark Metro, you'll encounter various enemies from humans to something far worse. Taking these out with your various weapons from pistols to assault rifles really gets you into character in the general setting. Everything feels immersive, from healing yourself to even changing out the vial. It makes you have to do everything. Ensuring your filters are not running low and monitoring the time all while walking through a radiated area is extremely creepy and sets the tone unlike anything before. During the non-VR Metro, you have to power your torch with a crank as well as power on electric boxes. Some people may find this annoying, but as a fan of the Metro games, I'm extremely happy they added this feature. Constantly powering my torch in the middle of darkness is terrifying, and powering on each electric box feels brilliant. I'm happy to say if you're a Metro fan, then the gameplay ticks all the boxes. Let's quickly talk about the audio, as for me this is by far one of the best video game soundtracks I've ever heard. Wandering the Metro tunnels with dialogue and some absolutely stunning music that fits every setting never got tiresome, and I always looked forward to hearing the next track. The voice acting was something they had to get 100% right, and for me I think it was perfect. When characters were talking to me it felt genuine, and during some scenes their emotions were heavily conveyed through this. The background audio and weapons also sound great. Now for the graphics, it's dark. This game is extremely dark, and playing on the PSVR2 you will notice a mirror at times, and I'm surprised I didn't notice it more. However, this game is so visually accurate to the previous non-VR entries that it constantly had me in shock. Character models look great and never out of place, mutants look terrifying as does every piece of scenery. Unfortunately I did experience a good few crashes and freezes when taking the headset off, however I was playing pre-release and these will likely be fixed in due time. The frame rate is good and I'm happy to say the adaptive triggers and headset haptics felt fantastic. As for the settings, this game has all the usual comfort that you'll require, from smooth to snap turning and visionade. I'm also happy to say you can play the game seated and I had no issues in doing so. Now for what I didn't like, I wish the silent takedowns felt a bit heavier, as sometimes I didn't feel the impact of this. Each enemy seems to have a set animation when you hit them, and this becomes quite noticeable and soon makes them easier to overcome. Another thing I hated with a passion was the spider sequences. I'm not a fan of spiders and these parts I found terrifying. However, after the first one these soon became easier to confront, so in some ways I should be thanking the game. Now another thing I disliked is the lack of varied scenery. In the non-VR Metro games you sometimes venture out of the Metro for brief moments. For all the trophy hunters out there, this game does have a platinum. Overall, Metro Awakening is everything I could have asked for in terms of a Metro VR game. I walked away satisfied with my experience and I definitely will play through again and look for the postcards and take on the harder difficulty. I'd also say this game somewhat blurs its genres, and again this may lose some players. Sure, putting Metro into VR was always going to be a bit scary, but with this game they play on horror a bit during the later chapters. But even then it leaves you on edge and just creeped out more than scared. So, should you get this game? Well yes, if you're a fan of Metro I think you'll love this experience. However, if you have a lack of interest in the world of Metro then some things may seem tedious or just silly. This concludes my review of Metro Awakening. If you've enjoyed this review then make sure to stick around. I cover games on the PSVR2, Quest and PC VR, so I'm sure you'll find something that interests you. I'll catch you all on the next one. Thanks for watching and have a great day.